Hello children, welcome back to the digital class of Social Studies. So today we shall continue with Sustainable Development with Equity Part 2. So children, do you remember what we have learned in Part 1? Let's have a look. We have discussed about PCI, HDI and GDP. And we have also discussed about HDI is considered as one of the main indicators for the development of the economy. We have also learnt about the meaning of sustainable development. So what are PCI, HDI and GDP? Per capita income, Human Development Index and Gross Domestic Product. And we have also discussed about relation between environment and development, impact of using pump sets on groundwater, impact of pesticides like endosulfan on animals and human beings. So let's see the learning objectives of today's session. By the end of the chapter, you will be able to explain about the impact of dams on the lives of people, identify the consequences of Sardar Sarovar Dam, describe the social movements on the protection of the environment, brief about the arguments of policy makers on environment, classify the environmental issues and their solutions, and explain about organic farming. So let's see the mind mapping of what we are going to learn in today's session. We shall discuss about people's rights over the environment, Narmada Bachao Andolan, Chipko Movement, and towards sustainable development with equity. So let's begin with people's rights over the environment. So children, if you remember, in second chapter, that is ideas of development, we have learned that development of one is a destruction to other. So we have seen different aspects of development and what are the effects of the development on the lives of the people. So today also we shall learn about how the development is causing a threat to the environment. Okay, so look at the picture here. What is this? This is Narmada river. Yes, so Narmada river, where is the location of Narmada river? It is located in Madhya Pradesh and it is a west flowing river. Narmada river is located between the Satpura and Vindhya ranges. Another river is Tapti river or Tapi river, which flows towards the west. So Narmada starts in Amarkanta and flows towards Madhya Pradesh, and it also touches Maharashtra and then flows towards Gujarat and finally into Arabian Sea. So how this Narmada river is causing a threat for the lives of the people, or construction of dams over this river has become a threat to the lives of the people. So this we will discuss now. So there is a dispute between Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh on the share of water from the Narmada river. This is the location plan of projects in Madhya Pradesh. As I told you, the Narmada river starts in Amarkanta, then flows towards Madhya Pradesh and touches Maharashtra and finally into Gujarat. So here the percentage of a river flowing in Madhya Pradesh is 86%, Gujarat is 14% and only 2% of it flows through Maharashtra. So what is the dispute here? The share of power between these three states. This is the river Narmada. The Narmada Valley Development Authority was formed by the government of Madhya Pradesh on 9th August 1985. It is the single largest river development scheme in India. So what are the development projects? So two projects, that is in this chapter we are going to discuss about two projects which are becoming a destruction to the lives of the people. So the first one is Narmada Valley Development Project. So it is the largest development scheme developed by Madhya Pradesh government in August 1985. It is one of the largest hydroelectric projects in the world and is supposed to generate power, provide irrigation and help with flood control. So any dam, what does it provide to the people? Yes, it is development when the dams are constructed. So how does the dams help? It generates power and it provides irrigation and also helps with flood control. So this is how the dams help for the development of the country. Narmada has a potential of irrigating over 6 million hectares, that is 15 million acres of land, along with the capacity to generate about 3000 megawatt of hydroelectric power. Another project, that is Sardar Sarovar Dam. The Sardar Sarovar Dam is a gravity dam on the Narmada river near Navagam, Gujarat in India. So this is another project developed by Gujarat government. So what is it? Sardar Sarovar Dam. A gravity dam is made from concrete or stonework or sometimes both. So why it is called as a gravity dam? Because it is made by concrete and stones, and sometimes both are used for construction of these dams. It is called a gravity dam because gravity holds it down to the ground, stopping the water in the reservoir, pushing it over. So these dams, the gravity dams, what do? They hold the water to the ground and does not allow them to overflow out of the reservoir. So this is the use of gravity dams. Sardar Sarovar Dam. So you can see the picture here. This is a dam constructed in Gujarat. So as I told you, this is a gravity dam, that is, it is made by using concrete and stones. The largest of the dams constructed is Sardar Sarovar, which floods more than 37,000 hectares of forest and agricultural land, displacing more than 500,000 people and destroying some of India's most fertile land. A disappropriate number of those being displaced are Adivasis and Dalits. So why people are not willing, why they are against the construction of dams? Because these dams may flood many regions. Like how much? 37,000 forest area can be flooded. And not only that, even the agricultural land can be flooded. More than 500,000 people can be displaced. That means they have to evacuate, they will be evacuated, or they have to vacate that area and move to the other places. So who are the people who are living in these areas, in the forest? They are Adivasis and Dalits. So for Adivasis, forests are home. So why do they want to leave their homes and go to other places? Though the project has been developed by the government for a good purpose, and even the government has promised to provide them shelter, food, everything, but still people are not willing to move out of their places. They don't want to vacate these forest areas. So can you guess what are the reasons for this? Let us see. So these are the people who live in these areas. So these are Adivasis, and where do they live? They are living in 𝗳𝗏 village. It is in 𝗳𝗏 district in Madhya Pradesh. You can see the location here. So they practice agriculture in 𝗳𝗏 village. So this is agricultural land. So one of the person, that is Baba Mahalia of 𝗳𝗏 village in 𝗳𝗏 district, wrote a letter to the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh in 1994. It questions the very idea of development. You can see these are the people who are living in the forest. They are Adivasis and Dalits. What are they saying? We will drown, but we will not move. So though the government is providing them the facilities, they want them to shift to Gujarat, but these people are not willing to vacate that place. Why? They say that we are born here, this is our home. So we will die here, we are going to drown here, but we are not going to move from this place. So Baba Mahalia, he wrote a letter on behalf of all the people in the forest, and he wrote a letter to the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh requesting Chief Minister not to evacuate them from these places. So let's see what was written in the letter. Let us see the highlights of the letter now. And it questions the very idea of development. So for one, it is a development, that is for a country it is a development, even for the people, because it generates electricity and also it provides irrigation facilities. But it is a destruction for the people who are living in those areas. This is the land of our forefathers. We have a right to it. If this is lost, then we will only get spades and pickaxes, nothing else, says Baba Mahalia. So in his letter, he wrote this, that this land belongs to his forefathers. So let us see the highlights of the letter. Baba Mahalia belonged to 𝗪𝗪𝗀, a village on the banks of river Narmada. When government decided to construct Sardar Sarovar Dam, it would be the first village in Madhya Pradesh to be submerged. They lived there for generations. Their ancestors cleared the forest, worshipped gods, improved the soil, domesticated the animals and settled in villages. They had flowing water of the river Narmada and fodder in the forest. In hard times, they depended on forest produce. Their children played on the banks of the river Narmada. They were all alike there and shared a common understanding. Thus, they say that was their forefathers' land and they don't want to leave it. They will try to protect it by hook or crook. So what is Mahalia saying? That their forefathers were living in the forest and they constructed their homes in the forest. From where did they get the food? They cultivated their own crops, they produced their own food, and also they built their own houses. It was made, they settled there for many years. Their children were playing in the forest. They know the water, they know each and every herb of the forest. They know the medicinal plants, they know the fodder of the forest. So the question is, if they move to the Gujarat, then what will happen? Who will give them the land to cultivate? Will they be able to produce their own goods? Will they be able to cultivate their own lands? No, they have to depend on others. And in case if they are not able to clear the debts, then they have to mortgage their lands also to the land owners. So this can't be the life of these people. So that's why he wrote a letter to the chief minister. Now look at this. So 𝗪𝗪𝗀 village will be the first village to be submerged in Madhya Pradesh if Sardar Sarovar Dam is constructed. So what is the meaning of submerged? Let's see the pictures here. The houses, the people, everyone will be drowned in the water. So this cannot be the situation of the people who are living near the dam. So here is an activity for you. Answer these questions, multiple choice questions. First one, dash development meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of the future generation. So what is the answer? Is it sustainable, original, balanced? None. Yes, it is sustainable development. Second question, which of the following is a feature of sustainable development? Raises per capita income, rational use of natural resources, no increase in pollution, and all of the above. So sustainable development means without depletion of resources, rise in the per capita income, and also reduction of pollution. So what is the answer? Yes, it is D, all of the above. So now let us see. The resistance to Sardar Sarovar and other dams with similar consequences in the Narmada Valley has taken the form of a social movement known as Narmada Bachao Andolan. So since the people were not willing to vacate those places, people started protesting. They started social movements. It is a non-violent movement. And what is it known as? Narmada Bachao Andolan. So what does this say? Look at the picture. See the people, they are protesting through non-violence. So Narmada Bachao Andolan has stood for the rights of the people over land, forest and river. So this social movement is to protect their forest, land and river of the people. Another social movement called Chipko Movement. See this. See the picture here. What do you see? You are seeing women are hugging the tree. So Chipko movement is also a non-violent movement. It started in 1970s in the Garhwal Himalayas of Uttarakhand by Sundar Lal Bahuguna. Chipko means embrace. What is the meaning of embrace? To hug. So they are hugging the tree. Why are they hugging the tree? To protect the trees from the access of the contractors. The villagers hugged the trees, saving them by interposing their bodies between them and the contractors' access. So they were not allowing the contractors to cut the trees. Women were the main force of this movement. Chipko movement acted to prevent the cutting of trees and reclaim their traditional rights that were threatened by contractors. So trees have a traditional value for these people. So women, they surrounded the trees to protect the trees from cutting off. So they were interposing their bodies between the tree and the access of the contractors. So these women were protecting the trees from cutting down. So this is known as Chipko movement. What is the meaning of Chipko? Chipko means embrace. Embrace means hug. So now let us see. Till now we have discussed about how the projects have the influence the people's lives, how they are threatening the lives of the people. For one, it is a development. For the country, it is a development. But for the people who are living there is a destruction. So now let us see towards sustainable development with equity. So what is the meaning of sustainable development? Sustainable development means development of the present generation for fulfilling their needs without compromising the ability of future generation for their needs. Both present as well as future generation have to fulfill their needs with equity. So is it possible? So let us see now. Here you see these are policy makers. Policy makers, they made many policies on the development side, but they ignored the effect on the environment. How the development is affecting the environment is neglected by the policy makers. So let's see the arguments of policy makers. What do they argue? Since developing countries like India are poor, developing economies need to grow. So first the economies have to grow because a country is poor. So if the country has to prosper, income of the country has to increase. So that means economic growth should take place. Economic growth means increase in the income of the country. Okay. So development has to be achieved at any cost. Growth in GDP and modern industrialization are necessary. So policymakers say that since the development has to be focused, they say that development has to be achieved at any cost. Whether the environment is affected, people are affected, that is the second aspect according to policy makers. So how does development take place? By increase in GDP. What is GDP? Gross domestic product. That is the total value of finished goods and services produced in a country in a year. So if these goods are increasing, the income of the country increases. And industrialization. GDP and industrialization have to take place for the development. They say that depletion of resources and pollution of the environment is to be expected. It is a sacrifice that has to be borne for higher growth. Once the high economic growth and prosperity is achieved, pollution and the environmental degradation can be handled. So according to them, when you want development, you have to face the depletion of resources. That means the resources will come down because they are utilized, and pollution of the environment is also expected. Since industrialization and the chemicals used in industrialization, pollution has to take place, and it is a sacrifice that has to be borne for higher growth. So if you want something, you need to sacrifice something. So what is that we are sacrificing here? We are sacrificing the resources and we are sacrificing the environment. Once the high economic growth take place, prosperity is achieved, pollution and environmental degradation can be handled. So they say that first let us prosper, let the country become rich. Then accordingly we can improve the quality of the environment, we can reduce the pollution, check the degradation of the resources. But do you think this is possible? Once it has been affected, can you regenerate it? No. See, look at the picture here. What do you see here? This is damage caused to the environment, and this is made by human activities only. We are throwing all the plastic everywhere, near the seas, rivers, everywhere. So what happens? Future generations, even if they restore the damage, would have to spend crores of rupees to clean up the mess created today. For example, to clean up our rivers and drains, we need to spend money today besides ensuring that they are not polluted again and any further. So this is not the present, this is a present situation. But was it done by present generation or the past generation? Yes, it was made, the damage was made by the past, the activities made by the people in the past. But are we able to correct it now? How much money we need to spend? If we are doing it today, the future generation have to face the same problem. They have to spend lot of amount to clean up these things. So do you think it is easy? No, it is not at all easy. Do you think we should follow a path that destroys the natural resources and perceive the contradiction? We first encourage and celebrate a lifestyle that invites the disease and then spend thousands of rupees on its cure. So what the policy makers were saying? First, we will spend on the development. Then whatever damage is made to the environment will be checked later. But is it possible? That is, we are celebrating the lifestyle which causes diseases in the future and spend a lot of amount to cure the disease. Is it correct? No. Okay. So sustainable development should take place equally. Now let's sharpen the brain. In which year the term sustainable development came into existence? 1987, 1980, 1978 and 1992. What is the answer? Yes, it is 1980. Second question. A promising direction towards sustainable development is to design systems that are flexible and irreversible, flexible and reversible, inflexible and reversible, inflexible and irreversible. So how it should be? It should be flexible and reversible. Whatever we are doing, it has to be reversed. Then only it is called as sustainable development. Now next topic is environmental issues. What are environmental issues? These are the harmful effects of human activities on the environment. These include pollution, overpopulation, waste disposal, climate change, global warming, greenhouse effect, etc. So these are the issues of the environment. Various environment protection programs are being practiced at the individual, organizational and government levels with the aim of establishing a balance between man and environment. So there are many issues in the environment, and these are taken care by the government by setting up many organizations. Even the individuals started realizing the importance of environment. So let us see what are the problems of environment and how they are solved. Solutions to the environmental issues. So first see the problems and what are the solutions made by the government. First problem is to ensure pollution-free environment. So what is the solution given by the government? In 1991, the Supreme Court held that the right to life under Article 21 of the Constitution includes the right to pollution-free water and air for full enjoyment of life. Right to life means protection against the life. But here, right to life includes the pollution-free environment also, pollution-free water and air. So, this is an order given by the court in 1991. Second one, emission from vehicles. So, what is the solution given by the government for emission of vehicles? In 1998, from 1998 onwards, the Supreme Court had ordered all public transport vehicles using diesel were to switch to compressed natural gas, that is CNG. This is a clear fuel compared to diesel. As a result of this move, air pollution in cities like Delhi came down considerably. Climate change affects the countries and people. Some may be more than others. Individually, a country may take an initiative to reduce emissions of greenhouse gases. Thus, solution at the global level with countries coming together become necessary. So, climate change has to be done worldwide, that is globally it has to take place. Not only individuals, even the other countries also should participate in controlling the climate. At the community level, many community organizations have innovated and rediscovered sustainable and equitable ways of doing things. There are numerous instances of such initiatives in diverse fields like fisheries, mining, transportation, energy, agriculture, industry, etc. So, let us see at community level what are the initiatives taken by the government. That is organic farming. One of such initiative was organic farming. What is organic farming? It is a farming method that involves growing and nurturing crops without the use of synthetic based fertilizers and pesticides. So, we have seen that due to the increase of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, there has been a lot of damage to the environment. So, to reduce that, the government started organic farming, that is without the use of fertilizers and pesticides. So, look at this. For organic farming, instead of using chemical fertilizers and pesticides, natural methods are being used. How the manure is prepared. There are different methods for that. So, based on the organic farmer, this is the produce made by using organic methods. Organic farmers forego the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So, they are not using this, they have to give up the fertilizers and pesticides. So, this is a spraying of pesticide. Instead, they rely mainly on natural techniques such as crop rotation, compost and biological pest control. So, this is crop rotation, this is compost which you can prepare even at home also by using the vegetable peels and all, and this is biological pest control. The biological pests, they are the natural enemies of the pest which eats the plants. So, in this way they can control the pests. Initiatives taken by the government. Now, many states have realized the need and potential of organic farming. Local level initiatives have influenced state policy. The Sikkim government has taken the bold step to ban chemical fertilizers and pesticides. It is the first state to shift completely to organic farming. Uttarakhand too is following the same path of being 100% organic state. So, let us hope for better future for all the generations. So, I think the session was interesting. Now, it is a revision time for you. Let us see what we have discussed till now. We have learnt about how development of one is a destruction for other, impact of dams on the lives of the people, consequences of environmental pollution, solutions for the environmental issues and organic farming were discussed in this session. Let us see the evaluation part. Answer the following questions. What may be the development of one may be the destruction for other? Explain the statement with appropriate examples. Locate the following on India map: Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Gujarat and Maharashtra. For better understanding of the concepts, solve the worksheets. please visit the official website of SCRT for worksheet. I hope the session was interesting for you and you have understood the complete chapter of sustainable development with equity, and I hope you are going to develop the country equally. Thank you. Have a nice day.